Hi friends, my name is Akidiris. So this video is actually going to be a sequel to a video that I actually made a couple weeks ago talking about the TPP and Japan's copyright laws. And essentially I was going over the law's technicalities and how it was going to be very detrimental to the anime community and the artists within the anime community. And how this was going to affect things like doujins, fan art, and AMVs, cosplay prints. It makes me feel sad and angry and stuffs. But the thing is that after I had uploaded and published that video on YouTube, on that same day another article came out talking about how Japan's government actually does acknowledge our opinions as an anime community on the whole ordeal of this law being enforced. And not even being enforced. This is actually something that the Japanese government has been trying to do for quite some time now. If they didn't really consider our opinions, they would have already done it by now. So what is this law exactly trying to do? Well, in this video I'm actually going to be going over the reality of the situation as a whole and how this isn't necessarily trying to attack the anime community. Just keep in mind that throughout this video that it all just comes down to money, and quite specifically a great big deal of money that the company is not making. So first off, I wanted to say that this law realistically is really only attacking the sources that are taking a great deal of profit from anime industries. Now, some of you probably know that the anime industry doesn't necessarily just make money solely off of just anime and manga. There are other ways that they do make anime. One method is just by making a shit anime and having profit from that to make good anime. Another way is just by selling merchandise, and another way is actually being paid by another company to advertise for that company within the anime. So even though they do make money by doing all these other different methods, it doesn't necessarily mean that these other sources can just go on willy-nilly. A good example of this is actually websites where you can actually watch anime for free, or other websites where you can read manga for free. But I do not have the monies to buy my animes. I would like them for free. Well, see, that's the problem there, is that even though the anime industry can make a lot of money doing all these other things, piracy is still a problem, and it's just always been that little bit of a nuance for them that they've just been trying to fix for many years now, and just recently they are just really trying to enforce this. So everything that I mentioned in that last video, as much as it sounds really strict, this is really only applying to any kind of source that makes literally thousands, hundreds of thousands, almost millions of dollars, and the anime industry doesn't get anything back. So knowing that there are two sides to the story, it makes a lot of sense. In a sense, the anime industry is really just trying to protect itself here. Like, didn't you guys learn anything from Parasite? Now, as far as copyrights with fan art, doujins, and AMVs go, most people are pretty much in the clear here, and the reason for that is because it still goes into the effect of how much of an impact that you're making on the business. So what I'm trying to say is that unless you're making literally thousands of dollars and it's pretty damn noticeable, you're pretty much in the clear here. As far as AMVs go, the only real thing that you have to worry about here is copyright music, and that's a whole thing with itself between the AMV and YouTube, because that's mainly where anime music videos go to. Now, another question stands is what's going to happen to anime conventions as a whole, because that is a source of a lot of money being made from fan arts, being made from doujins and technically AMVs, because they hold AMV competitions. If anything, I think that the law will still be strict, but it will work in a process before the convention even starts. That seems like the more rational approach that they would probably be doing this for. Now, as far as fan art goes, that has always been a gray area within not just the anime community, but just its existence, like with things like Disney, things like with Lucasfilms. Like, there are a lot of companies out there that have looked at fan art as a very gray area. The reason for this is because it really all depends on the situation. A good example of this is because somebody one time made a Darth Maul acrylic painting. They sold prints of it, and it got like over $200,000 within just a couple of months. That's quite a bit of dough there that they made just for themselves, so obviously it makes sense that the business came in and poked at them a bit, but they didn't arrest him on the spot. At first they wanted to sue the guy, but the thing is that when they looked at how beautiful this acrylic painting was and how successful this was, they gave him actually one of two options. The first one was that they said that they could either buy the artwork off of him and for a lot of money that he could keep for himself, but they would take it from him and sell it for themselves, or he could work for him. He chose the second option, which was good for him, and that's a great example of how these certain situations are handled. So it's not like all the time it's going to be somebody that's just going to shut you down, fine you, you're going to jail. It's not that simple. There's an actual process to go through. With the other video that I made saying that they have the right to shut you down on the spot without even talking to the content creator, again, that really applies to how successful your booth probably is at a convention. And to be honest, I really don't think it's going to be that often. So in short, again, unless you're making a really noticeable amount of money, I think that when this law is enforced, there's not much that's going to change for the average Joe, unless you're the one that's actually owning an anime stream website, or unless you're making a lot of money. I think everything will be okay, because as life goes on, laws have to change. Things have to change for the better. As of now, we can still keep our guard up, but we shouldn't necessarily be so aggressive towards the anime industry, because in the end, they really are only trying to better themselves. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think of this video. If you guys have any other opinions, or if there's anything that I should have added, or if I'm wrong about something, because people make mistakes. I mean, how do you think I was born, you know? Just leave something down in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet for more anime content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!